because my IQ is extremely high IQ. I'm talking like way up there IQ. It is extremely frustrating, being that I am far superior. I am the most intelligent person, which I guess, like, 140 is above average, whatever, do you. Because my IQ is extremely high.
Hi loves, JoySparklebS, and oh my god, people have been sending me this article, so thank you to those of you who sent it to me on Twitter and emailed it to me, that Based Mama is trying to do a media campaign to clear herself of a lot of issues that happened in Kilroy. And are you ready for the kicker? She's trying to blame everything, and I mean everything, on the alt-right, specifically James Allsup. I can't tell you guys how excited I am to announce that there's gonna be a Kilroy 2019. Were you aware? Yeah, I was aware. If you haven't, go check out Thomas Ellington. He covered Kilroy 2018. It was amazing. He does amazing coverage. He's got awesome clips, awesome channel. Go check him out. I'll link him in the description. But apparently there's going to be 2019. And this is PR and damage control for what's happened in 2018. I have a lot to say, but I think we should go ahead and just get through the article. I want you guys to see some of the information in it. And then I will give more of an opinion, like, towards the end. You will see some snippets here and there where I'm gonna have her basically argue herself, because it's always fun to watch a hypocrite argue their own fucking words, right? Those videos are always my favorite because they're really easy to do. Like, I don't have to do much. You get to argue yourself here. So, okay, we're gonna go ahead and read the article, and then I'll give my opinion at the end. We'll have some fun treats at the end too, so try to stick it out to the end if you're able to. I know it's a long video, but there's a lot of good stuff, so here we go. I apologize if you hear some background noise. The dryer is going, and it has to go on right now because roommate has to have some clothes ready tomorrow for work. Okay, so anyways, the article is from Right Wing Watch. I almost messed that up. Right Wing Watch. And it's alt-right figure attacked an event organizer who wouldn't meet their demands. Oh God, this is gonna be fun. By Jared Holt, September 18th, 2018. And here we have a picture, obviously, of James Allsup, and it says, Victoria Duran is a conservative woman who once operated under the moniker, quote, Based Mama, unquote. Nearly a year after online harassers tied into the white supremacist, quote unquote, alt-right movement made her a target, she still can't openly use the internet without fear for her family's safety. Last year, Duran teamed up with YouTuber David Cullen and another using the name Sister Danger to plan an event dubbed Kilroy that promised to be a safe space for free speech. The conference was slated to host speakers from across the political spectrum, including those who have extremist views, to fill panels dedicated to discussion about First Amendment rights, and to engage on controversial political topics in what organizers hoped would be a good spirited debate. Duran says that although she doesn't agree with the extremists invited to speak to the event, their presence wasn't an issue to her, because she believes the best way to debunk them was to let them talk. The event, which took place in Arizona, drew opposition. Due to the lineup, Duran and other organizers faced scrutiny from both sides of the political spectrum about planned discussions and faced resistance from potential venues contacted about hosting their event, several of which cited security concerns. Quote, I understand that. We had a very controversial speakers lined up, Duran said. The first wave of major wave. What? Oh, looks really professional. The first wave of major wave of opposition came in response to non-disclosure agreements Duran said were meant to protect the identity of a political dissident slated to speak from Venezuela, as well as others from North Korea. She also said that the event venues had requested the conference goers not film in the areas not rented by the event organizations. This drew criticism from YouTube journalist Tim Pool, who called out the agreement in a YouTube video and a series of tweets. But that would pale in comparison to the reaction Duran faced after she denied the request of alt-right activist James Allsup, who marched last year in Charlottesville with the far-right white nationalist group Identity Evropa. The fuck is that? Oh, it's a group. Okay, sorry. I'm tired. So it says marched with the group Identity Evropa. I thought this was another typo. Allsup is presently a Republican precinct committee officer in Whitman County, Washington, and has urged his followers to pursue similar political endeavors. Duran told us that Allsup had agreed to appear on a panel on free speech, but then made a series of demands that organizers were not capable to accept. In an email exchange shared with Right Wing Watch, Allsup tells Duran that he wants the event to feature a panel on Western civilization, featuring far-right YouTuber user Lauren Southern, Brittany Pettibone, and Faith Goldie. In the email, Allsup told Duran that it would be, quote, in your best interest as organizers, unquote, to make room for them by canceling other speakers scheduled for the event. Allsup shared some of these emails in a video he uploaded to YouTube weeks later, but he omitted crucial parts of the exchange. Duran and Allsup live in areas with different time zones. I don't know why that's necessary. I guess we'll find out in the emails. So here are the emails. Wednesday, November 22nd, 2017. Hello, my name is James Allsup, and I am emailing you about the possibility of participating in the Kilroy event you have planned for the spring of 2018. I'm a big supporter of free speech and have thought that a conference of this nature would be a good idea for a while, and I'm excited that you are planning and putting it all together. You may already be familiar with my channel, 175,000+ subscribers, but if not, I've been doing political commentary and in-person reporting for about a year now, and have spoken at several events, including Free Speech Rally in Washington, D.C. on June 25th. I would love to come and speak at the event, and I've received numerous Twitter messages and emails from people indicating they would come if I was to be present. I could help with fundraising and promotion as well. Thank you for your consideration. And then it says November 22nd, 2017, 5 p.m. from Based Mama. I love that they blacked out her email. Like, we're not going to know it says basedmama@kilroyevent.com. Like, what privacy are you trying to protect? Because I thought she was completely removed from it, right? Anyway, hi. Yes, Mycroft told me to look out for your email. I apologize for not getting right back to you. I'm getting a fair bit swamped with questions. Our panels are structured around a political aspect of free speech, expression, and association. We have one in favor of restriction, one against, one undecided, and a moderator. We are actually having trouble getting people who want to restrict speech to show, which isn't really surprising. Is there a particular aspect of the First Amendment that you want to talk about? Do you have any ideas on who we can invite, who would oppose your position and also be willing to show up? I hate to ask, but we had an open call for participation, and those we thought would want to argue for restriction opted to not show up unless they got paid, which we can't do because we're grassroots and just don't have that kind of money. I'm happy to try to find a place for you on one or more of the panels if I can. Thanks, Based Mama. So he writes back Thursday, November 23rd, 2017 at 5:03. Great, and thank you. Are those all panels or speeches as well? Secondly, can I count on being part of the event in some capacity? I'd like to begin promoting as soon as possible. Thanks and happy Thanksgiving, James. So then, Thursday, November 23rd, 2017, 7:57 p.m. from Base Mama. You're booked in. Those are the provisional panel topics only. Speakers propose several topics, and we go from there. We are leaning on academic contacts at the moment, trying to make sure it doesn't devolve into a YouTube convention. We're approaching several speakers on a wide array of topics. Unsurprisingly, they have general issue with the code of silence around facts, as I imagine many in academia do. Perhaps I can have you on the immigration panel. I have another participant who is open borders, and Cap and I think you two would actually have a really good discussion. I expect some people to join up and others to drop out as it gets more and more notice. That's the nature of these things. So please make sure to include that this is a provisional list and we should be good. Thanks again, Based Mama. So, Duran says that of the email chain on November 29th, 2017, Allsup has sent a panel submission form stating that he wanted to do a lecture on identitarianism with Goldie and a panel about Western civilization with Goldie, Pettibone, and Southern, promoting her to send the following response from Based Mama, November 30th, 2017 at 4:55. I'm confused about why you want to do a panel on identitarianism since we didn't discuss that before. When I asked, you replied, I'm prepared to participate in a panel on any free speech topic. Two of the topics I find most relevant are government protection of free speech via the Civil Rights Act and the debate about whether ideology should be protected, class, and B, the Civil Rights Act and its implications for free speech. These are two pertinent topics in current political discourse and would draw attention, I'm sure. I would not require payment, obviously. What are some of the other panels currently scheduled? Thanks, James. Says underneath, identitarianism never came up. So I'm unsure why you submitted that as a panel. I had you down for free association panel tentatively since you expressed interest in that. So then apparently, James responds November 30th, 2017 at 6:12 p.m. I can do one or the other. I'm okay with doing the identitarianism speech panel with Faith and Brittany and Lauren and Free Speech Association panel. From Based Mama, same day, 5:29. We aren't broaching identitarianism. There's nothing stopping anybody from being an identitarian in the U.S., so it's not on the agenda at all. So then, from James, that's not really true, but okay. I will do the importance of demographics in that case. So then, a little bit later, Based Mama, I sent you a list of panels to choose from. So far, we have a pretty wide array of issues, of course, as we develop, they may change. Our board has to vote on finalizing everything by January, so it should all be settled by then. So this is very provisional. And then here's the panel. She says, our board, as I noticed, has to vote on these. You can suggest panels, but the board has to approve them. I'm not sure where the confusion is. If the board votes no to your panel suggestion, then it doesn't happen. We already dropped the history of identitarianism in Ireland because our speaker dropped out. I'm going to let you know right now that identitarianism is absolutely not a topic we are going to cover. God, there's so much that doesn't make sense. So then on Thursday, November 30th, says, so can Faith, Lauren, Brittany, and I do our panel about Western civilization? This will by far be the biggest panel at the event. And okay, my speech will be about demographics. Based on a response to James, this is now December 1st. I'm not sure how I'm being unclear. You have a list of panels to choose from that are already slated. We are fully scheduled and in fact so overscheduled as it is that we have to try and expand into more space. We are not adding any more panels or speeches. From James to Based Mama. And this is Friday, December 1st, again. So then why was that Google Doc sent around if there was no intention of letting people do the speeches or lectures they signed up for, and they're going to be put on a panel from this list? I indicated in the Google form 2 lectures I could do. If you don't want people doing lectures, why did you even make that a possibility? Let me be perfectly clear. 4 of the biggest names at your event are proposing a panel that is 1, going to be far the event's most popular panel, and 2, involves 4 of the most high-profile invitees to the event. It would be in your best interest as organizers to make room for this panel featuring 4 of the biggest names at your event, and possibly eliminate 1 or 2 panels on Islam or 1 of the 5 panels on censorship. Duran told us that she wasn't sure what Allsup had hoped to accomplish on whether he had discussed his request with those mentioned in the emails. She said that except for Goldie, those mentioned in the messages had already withdrawn from the event on mostly good terms, of seemingly unrelated reasons. She said that Southern declined to appear at the event when she was asked to sign the non-disclosure agreement for the event, that Pettibone politely opted out when it became a point of controversy online. Duran never spoke personally to Goldie, she says. I didn't have any issues with them being there. It's that I wasn't going to throw others off the platform to accommodate them. I wasn't in a position to do so, Duran explained. They just wanted a platform, she said, adding that she felt it was ironic that someone like Allsup, who claims to simply advocate for free speech, as many others in the movement do, insisted that others be removed from the event to make way for his envisioned panel. The last email attained by Right Wing Watch is dated December 1st, 2017. Shortly after, Allsup tweeted that he wanted to stage a meetup of his own in the area that would feature Goldie, white nationalist podcaster Nick Fuentes, and Tim Baked Alaska Treadstone, whom Allsup claimed was uninvited from the Kilroy event. Duran said that Treadstone was turned away because the event was at capacity. Duran said she perceived Allsup's planned counter-event to be an attempt to pressure her after she declined to accommodate his panel. From James, a tweet. We can't say why yet, but just know that you need to be in Phoenix, Arizona on April 19th and 20th, 2018, with Nick Fuentes, Faith Goldie, Baked Alaska, and more. By now, I knew he had been at Charlottesville and had been involved in the Unite the Right stuff, Duran said, referring to the August 12th, 2017 gathering of far-right white supremacy groups that erupted in a melee where counter-protester Heather Heyer was killed in an apparent attack by alleged neo-Nazi James Fields. Duran said that she felt threatened by Allsup's call to rally in Phoenix days before her Kilroy conference.
Free speech benefits everybody. When you protest, that's you using your First Amendment. You fucking morons. But whatever.
That call was amplified by other actions in the same political space online as Allsup. She also mentioned Collins' millennial woes, Robertson, piped up with criticism of her, but she said she had never been told that Roberts was interested in attending to begin with. Members of the far right piled on. Some accused Duran and a YouTuber known as Kraut and Tea of participating in a chat server dedicated to digging up personal identifying information about various YouTube users, an activity they both strongly deny engaging in. The public chat server is now defunct. After members of the alt-right began to target Duran, she says she began receiving a barrage of harassment that has kept her offline to this day.
Like, okay, okay. The best way I can explain the culture of Arizona is that Razorfist is probably the most quintessential Arizonan I could possibly think of. We're extremely libertarian. You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. You fuck our shit up, we'll fuck your shit up until you can't fuck our shit up anymore. Because we don't like to be told what to do. We don't like people coming in from other places, especially, to try to boss us around. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see Zarn and Joshi try to gate crash an event held in Phoenix by a Native American, and try to justify this. I'm just like, I want to kind of see this myself.
Duran told us that someone had hacked her cell phone, after which the alleged perpetrator, she said, maxed out her credit cards, drained her personal bank accounts, and browsed through private messages on her Twitter account. She said she received threatening letters in the mail and eerie phone calls from random numbers.
So we have to hire, like, armed bodyguards. Like, we're taking this shit seriously. Security is our number one thing. That's why half of our budget is security.
But the one moment she says was most disturbing is when the online mob targeted her children. One person using an anonymous account had tracked down her 9-year-old daughter online and sent her photographs of lynchings and said that the photos represented what would happen to her mother in April, Duran said. It was just happening so fast I couldn't even organize it in my head, Duran said. She added, it just surprised me. I guess I expected more backlash from the social justice warrior types. Duran said that she and other organizers will host another Kilroy event because free speech is always under attack from those who hold power. What it came down to is ego and vendetta. At the end of the day, quote, based fucking mama, Victoria Duran. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so I had to throw in some stuff in there because the whole thing, this is just too funny. I was like, this is getting long and I gotta throw in some of her hypocrisy. But I thought I'd just go ahead and do the points now so you can see the stuff, at least from my perspective, that I'm seeing she's either being shady, manipulative, or a lot about she's flat out lying about. I think it's interesting because I want to know the author of this article, if he's aware how much Based Mama is like a pathological liar. And I'm not going to be like her and say she's diagnosed with a mental illness. I think she knows what she's doing. She's very, very manipulative. And we've caught her in so many lies so far. But one of my favorite that the article talks about is she had issues with hotels wanting to have this event because they didn't want anybody filming in areas they shouldn't film in. That's bullshit. There is, unless it would be like some government property type of situation where there's security and clearances, a hotel isn't going to care about that. And furthermore, people called and asked that specific hotel and they're like, no, there's no policy against that. So she's lying there. But let's continue with the lies. Okay, so James Allsup, right? He's asking for this panel that he wants to be on. She's a moron. Because everything he's saying from a business, marketing, and PR perspective is 100% right. Like, even if let's say your event is full, right? Like, she said you have five panels on censorship. There was 5 panels on censorship or something, right? Just eliminate one or move people around. And he's right, and I'll tell you why. From the business perspective, he's right. A lot of you probably, you don't even have to be a business person to pick up on this. She's just a fucking moron with such a high IQ. So the situation is that the people like Lauren Southern, Brittany Pettibone, these are big numbers. James Allsup, these are people with big numbers, big social media behind them, big views. Don't you think you're gonna want to move things around and even bend over backwards to have huge names come to your event? It's only gonna bring more money, more tickets, more seats in butts. So why would you be so staunch on why would you be so staunch on not wanting to include that? No wonder this event went downhill, Based Mama. You're a moron. And I also love in the email, and we've talked about this, how she was like, we want to really lean on the academics because we don't want this to just turn into a YouTuber convention. Bitch, it was always supposed to be a YouTube convention. That was the initial idea. That's why it was created. But you thinking you're so fucking smart and highfalutin with your high IQ who can't seem to figure out how to fucking run events successfully or even how to hire security within a goddamn budget, you decided, with everything else going on, you decided in all of your amazing, brilliant marketing and PR ideas that you're gonna go ahead and fuck Andy Worski and everybody else over, right? You're gonna take this free speech YouTuber event and turn it into your own egotistical circle jerk, which, funny enough, the last quote from you of this article is about how it's all about ego and vendettas. That tends to be your thing. It's amazing how much you're projecting your shit onto other people. You took Andy and Failure and everybody who was there that day, you took their event, you ran with it, you stuck your name on it, you changed it to something it shouldn't be, and you screwed everybody over. Academics, who the hell, who are you? Aren't you like a paralegal or like a legal aid or something? Aren't you basically like an, what do they call it? Like an administrative assistant for a lawyer? I'm sorry, with your big IQ, you're not making much money and you're nobody. Sit down. Then she starts getting really rude in the emails and throwing shade. She's like, I'm not sure how I'm being unclear about this. And then says, I have a list of panels for you to choose from. You were unclear because in the emails before, you're like, hey, what do you want to do? Have any ideas? Opposing opposition? What would you like? No, Based Mama, you're not clear with anything you're doing. And similar to the Rose Hall situation and me where you screamed how you knew everything going on, I was a piece of shit. In the end, you don't know shit about what's going on, and you don't know shit about what you're doing. Whether it's a situation like Rose Hall on YouTube, or your own fucking YouTube event. Another thing I want to ask is, how can Right Wing Watch, how do they know she's giving all the information and all the emails? She is such a shady bitch, how can they verify this? They can't. They're going off of her word in good faith from her, which we know won't work because she has none. And then she talks about how she felt at the end so threatened by, James Allsup in the event because they were going to protest, and they were just at, Unite the Right, and there was somebody that died there, so she's scared. I swear to God, like, Based Mama is very, very much a quintessential boomer. This bitch is a completely manipulative baby boomer. If she was so concerned about what James Allsup was doing, you should have never tried to have him come to begin with. But we know that's horse shit. We know everything you're saying is horse shit. Because you were actually encouraging people to come and start shit and be violent and bring guns and bring kids around the guns so there can be violence. You said you want to see people gate crash. You want to see this shit. You can't encourage and promote it before the event and then later say how scared you were. Because either you're manipulative or you're a pussy, and you've shown to be both. You're upset about being associated with the Kraut and the doxing server, but yet outside of that, we have evidence you were gathering information on me. You and your people were trying to reach out or communicate with my family, which you went back and forth on, but then threatened to do. Constantly looked at locale to see what information you could get off me. And then you actually bragged about sending, 40 or 50 people to come harass me from the Chan boards. And how you're gonna make drama to blah, 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 and you gotta burn me. So hold on. It's totally okay for you to start a campaign in your own fucking jealousy and your ignorance against somebody like me and get all this harassment on me that still exists to this day when I did nothing but try to help. You can do all that, but then you cry harassment when you actually invited and encouraged it at the event. Sit the fuck down. And then here's my favorite. This one gets me really excited when she says, somebody in all of this hacked her accounts. Somebody, in hacking all her accounts, drained her bank account and took all the money. But wait a second, Based Mama. I thought in the beginning you were given over 85,000. People like to say 85,000, but that's what was fundraised. There was also donations. So probably I'm gonna assume well over $100,000. Well, you say the 85, which is all you got, half of it was refunded, and the other half had to go to security, which we know is bullshit, because we've seen in the video, your great fucking security team, that didn't cost 45,000. You know it, and I know it. And then, I've had Sestra, and my Twitter, and my Younow, remember Sestra, her friend that helped her run all this, saying that I'm a bitch because I am saying stuff like that Based Mama's a scam artist and a con, and that this whole convention was a con, which I still stand by and believe that it is until I see further evidence. And then she was saying, oh, well, we're gonna go ahead and put out the evidence soon. We're gonna show the financials. First, you couldn't show the financials for legal reasons, which that was bullshit. And then it turned into from Sestra coming to me saying, you guys will do it soon. It's just there's some disputes. You guys are doing some disputes, and once that's done, you'll clear it up. But now, poof, money's just gone because somebody hacked it. Which one, Based Mama? Which one, Boomer? Which narrative are we going with today? And you think you're so fucking smart and you're so high IQ that we're not gonna see through it. The reason you got shit is because you conned people out of thousands of dollars and people were mad. Oh, but it's the alt-right's fault, right? I'm sure she's gonna come out and say that I'm a stalker. Because holy shit, Thomas has been on this stuff. She called Thomas Ellington a stalker. Based Mama, if you watch this, I assume you hate, you end up binge hate watching videos about you. You've got another thing coming. You thought I was bad with Daddy 05? I cannot wait to cover Kilroy. If I am well enough, I'd be happy to buy a ticket. And then in this, she says that somebody went through all of her private conversations. That sentence doesn't make sense. How do you know somebody went through your private conversations? How can you be sure? Like, I can understand if she said somebody was deleting stuff or they were sending messages on my behalf, but that's not what you said. You said people went through your private messages. Well, you don't know, like on Twitter and stuff. You don't know that. You don't know if that's true. Again, another thing you're making up, or is that going to be the reason why when Chambers asked you guys, hey, what's going on? Why is everybody fucking Joy over when Joy did nothing wrong? That Based Mama, you and Melinda Gale took it upon yourselves to start deleting all evidence of the crap you guys were doing to me. Is that the new narrative now, or am I just crazy again? Now here's a parenting question for you, Based Mama. You originally said the NDAs were because you were scared for your child's life. Now it's actually about people coming to the event. But wait, you're scared for your children's lives even though you featured your kids, not just in that Kilroy video where you featured your kids saying, I'm concerned for their safety, while saying you're going to take guns, everybody being gruns, and we'll just have a big fucking shootout. Remember, we did that narrative. But no. Now it's because, well, there's somebody coming from a faraway land and then so-and-so and Muslims, and we have to make sure that they're protected. And in the middle of all of that, somehow, because you're such a fucking smart, high IQ individual, you don't have the common sense to keep your 9-year-old offline. Now look, I understand, technology's everywhere. So kids get on tablets, they play with stuff, sometimes they do their homework on computers, I get it. But how does your child have any way to have somebody contact them directly on the internet to send pictures like that? Are you allowing your 9-year-old on social media or to have email accounts? Because that's what it sounds like, and if you are, you're even dumber than I thought you were. And you're hiding behind your kids. You literally trying to use, every step I've seen, you have tried to use your children as a shield for your shitty behavior. You're so concerned about their safety, right? But remember, you didn't just put them in the Kilroy video, you put them in Jeff Holliday's Kegastani video. You weren't so concerned about their safety then, right? Oh, but it changes every day. And the biggest question I have is, if all the money is gone because somebody hacked, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you raise the alarm? Because at this point, it all looks suspect. And nobody can believe you. Nobody. I'm really surprised that anybody ran with this article. I'm like, who did you F to get anybody to care about this situation and actually defend you? So to right-wing watch, I can't say that without sounding like absolutely stupid. Right-wing watch. Oh my God, my mouth. If you want the real story on Based Mama and the harassment she's actually done, please contact me. I'd love to give a counter story if you're interested. Because what she's doing from my perspective is, there is a Kilroy 2, which if she was tens of thousands in debt from Kilroy 1 but won't say how can you afford to put on Kilroy 2? Oh, I guess just because she says so. But yeah, so right-wing watch. If you would like the counter story to this, let me know. This is all marketing and PR bullshit. She is trying to save face. She's trying to rebrand. She is trying to spin the story differently and declare she is the victim while we're catching her in her lies so that she can continue trying to do another event. Based Mama, this whole thing was supposed to be a YouTuber convention based off of public support. You've ruined all of that. All of it. You've ruined anybody publicly supporting you, and you've ruined the fact that it was even a YouTuber event. How on earth do you really think anybody's gonna show up? I'm just curious where you're getting the money. Are you gonna go F somebody to fund this? It's gonna get really interesting to see how she tries to pull this off, but I swear to God, I really want to go to Kilroy 19. I really want to go. So, that's my response to this. This is really funny, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Hey, Sestra! Why don't you sit down and talk with me and actually give me the real story? Because you keep trying to pop up every so often and, oh, you're busy, oh, you have to go to work. Why not sit down and really defend your friend? Because I'm going to stay on her. I find it funny, as you guys have seen, these harassers that Based Mama helped organize, and some of them that are still on me to this day. As much as they like to call me a scam artist and a con artist and all of this, they don't say one word about Based Mama, do they? No. And you know why? It's okay for her to scam probably over $100,000 from people. It's totally okay. I haven't done anything on the scam artist, but she's okay to do it. And the only reason? Because she joined in the hate with me. Because the type of harassment that she organized, and I'm not saying all the harassers came from her camp, but she organized a fuck ton of other crazy ones and they all networked with each other and got real fucking stupid. But all of these people have one common goal: hate me at all costs, and they could care less who you are or what you've done, which is why Phildo, the alleged pedophile wizard, flew right under the radar, which, by the way, Based Mama got a lot of her information from his interviews on Lolcow, because she's such a factual, upstanding, skeptical human being. Oh my God, this fucking event. So, okay guys, wanted to do a couple things. So at the very end, watch to the very end if you want, because there's some fun. First of all, I'm going to put in I'm going to showcase a message from Based Mama to me. It's a short one, a short message. And then also I'm going to put her whole video, because she deleted all her YouTube videos, but I still have copies of stuff. She deleted all of her YouTube videos in the process, and so we're gonna put the whole context of the one where she's basically egging people on to come and start shit, and how she's gonna bring guns and kids. Bring your guns and kids. Let's have a shootout. And then at the very end, we'll have a little bit of a Kumite surprise. So please watch to the end if you're interested. It's just some old fun, and I enjoy always bringing it up. It's so much fun. Like, I could not have had a better solution for somebody getting their comeuppance than what's happened with Based Mama. It's amazing. These motherfuckers who said so much shit and did so much shit to me have gone down one by one. And I hate to say it, I was never this person before, but the shit you go through online, the shit I've gone through changes. It changes you. It has to. You have to grow a thicker skin, and I very much delight watching her go down in flames. It's hysterical. From her own making. Yes, Based Mama, you did this. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I need to put together at some point I'm going to be doing mini docuseries on certain things that have happened that I haven't fully gotten the information out or gotten to talk about. It's probably going to be a while from now, but oh my god, there's just so much y'all probably don't even know of lies and bullshit she's done, and I'm so excited to get to you guys one day. So, okay, watch the end. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the support and all the love. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like the video, and please comment. Every comment you leave helps me in the algorithm, including the negative ones. My haters are my biggest fans. Thank you so much. I can't even say haters. It's harassers. I don't necessarily have haters. I have harassers. Holy shit. I try to respond to every comment, so if you do, you'll probably get at least a hey, what's up from me. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Take care, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hey everybody, it's Based Mama, and I am super duper tired, but I'm going to take a few minutes to make a video. I wanted to update everybody on what I've been doing, because I have not been on my channel, like, at all. Well, obviously been planning Kilroy, and we're confirming speakers, and everybody's signing their NDAs and their contracts now, which, yes, everybody has to sign a non-disclosure in a contract, because I got kids to protect. So, a few people have been like, oh, I don't want to sign that. Well, then I'm sorry. You know, there's nothing I can do for you. That little dude walking around the background, that's who I'm thinking of. So, sorry. But, we're moving ahead, of course. I'm kind of surprised at the response that this has gotten, to be honest, because people seem to be under this delusion that I'm easily intimidated. I mean, yeah, I was upset when I was called a neo-Nazi. That was really fucking upsetting. But then I talked to other people who do other things, like put on conventions and conferences, or make movies, or work in academia, and they're like, yeah, everybody gets called that, and they don't even care anymore. So I'm like, well, if they don't care, then I guess I don't care. But it was still really angering to be called a fucking Nazi over free speech. Free speech benefits everybody. When you protest, that's you using your First Amendment. You fucking morons. But whatever. When you sit on YouTube and talk, First Amendment. When you protest Milo Yiannopoulos, First Amendment. You use it all the time. I don't understand why these people think that, hey, you know what we should hate? We should hate free speech. Like, what the fuck ever. So here's the news of the week. Apparently the alt-right's trying to gate crash, and Zarna Joshi is apparently trying to gate crash. Why do you people think that this is going to be something that people here would be cool with? Like, okay, okay. The best way I can explain the culture of Arizona is that Razorfist is probably the most quintessential Arizonan I could possibly think of. We're extremely libertarian. You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. You fuck our shit up, we'll fuck your shit up until you can't fuck our shit up anymore. Because we don't like to be told what to do, we don't like people coming in from other places, especially, to try to boss us around. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see Zarna Joshi try to gate crash an event held in Phoenix by a Native American, and try to justify this. I'm just like, I want to kind of see this myself. But we have other concerns, like we have ex-Muslims talking, so we have to hire, like, armed bodyguards. Like, we're taking this shit seriously. Security is our number one thing. That's why half of our budget is security. That's what it is. Like, we have security, admin, incidentals. You know how much it costs? Whatever it costs to print paper and buy, toner from a printer. When it comes to security, we're gonna spend out the ass and we're okay. And we already had this planned. That was the thing. Having ex-Muslims there, we already planned to hire armed security to cover everywhere. People in particular, rooms, whatever. We were ready for this. So I just think it's really funny that people are like, you know what, we'll just talk shit and we'll intimidate and we'll antagonize Antifa and we'll do whatever it takes to take down Kilroy. But here's the thing I don't understand. This is coming from the same people who are like, we all just need better understanding. And if you understood the lived experiences of all these other people, you would understand. Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people from disparate ideological positions concerning free speech and censorship to get together and have a conversation about it. I must be doing something right if the two extreme factions of this debate are the ones threatening to, ruin the whole thing, or gate crash, or whatever. Go the fuck ahead, you morons. This is Arizona. I didn't pick this place by fucking accident. I picked it because I know the people here. I've lived here for a long time, about half my life. I love this place. You know why I love this place? Because if they don't like you, well, they're gonna tell you they don't like you. And if they don't want you here, they're gonna make sure you understand that they don't want you here. We already have political groups that try to come in and do shit and tell us how to run things. Like when PETA came in and tried to shut down all of the dairy farms and stuff here. Do you think we were fans? And they tried the whole oh my god, but the cows are kept in cages. There's 1 million dairy farms here. We all know how they take care of the cows. They take very good care of them. The cows are very comfortable. They have fucking air conditioning. The cows have air conditioning. Okay? We already know. So they couldn't sell us some bullshit like, oh, hey, they're not taking care of their cows. We know. We already see Shamrock Farms. We know they take care of their cows. We know those cows live pretty nice. Pretty nice. And they eat alfalfa all day, which makes the milk sweeter. But anyway, so we don't like people coming in and trying to fuck with us. Like the whole Trump rally thing. Who did you get? Maybe 40 people who came in from out of fucking town, by the way. And everybody here ignored them because we don't care. Even if we don't like Trump, we don't care. If you leave us alone, we're happy to leave you alone. But if you come in trying to fuck our shit up, that's just not going to work out for you. It hasn't worked out for anybody since, I don't know, the 1870s. And we're still pretty much like that. I keep trying to explain to people, once you get outside of Phoenix City proper, it's pretty much the Wild West. And it's every man for himself, and, everybody here is carrying. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean they're not packing. I myself carry every single day. Also because there's coyotes here. But everybody's carrying. We got rattlesnakes here. Arizona is like the Australia of America. Everything here is poisonous and it's all trying to kill you. So you just become tough, hard people. And you don't really like it when other people come in and start trying to sell you social justice shit, or act like fucking snowflakes, or act like they should have precedence over everybody else. I don't have a progressive stack. All I want is for conversations to happen. That's why I open called. I didn't want just people who are YouTube famous, internet famous. That doesn't mean anything to people who don't live their lives on the internet. So I wanted academics, intellectuals, people you've never fucking heard of, who can actually have a conversation about this because that's what they study, this is what they do, this is the work that they do. Like First Amendment attorneys, academics who have been censored for their views. These kinds of things are things that are important to talk about because our kids are educated by a system that literally has as part of the curriculum that white people are born racist. It's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Nobody's born with any kind of ideological position. You're just born. You just exist. It's just, to me, it's funny. But anyway, so I find it funny that there's been kerfuffle from the alt-right side because I won't entertain a panel on identitarian politics. I'll go ahead and tell you. Here's the reason why. And I told everybody this. We don't have time. We don't have the space. It's not on the agenda. I can't cram any more hours of programming into a conference I have a full day of programming. 12 hours of programming. No place to put it. I'm already, blending panels and turning what was a lecture into now like a fireside chat with somebody else because we just don't have time. If I had more space and we had more time, to be honest, I really wouldn't care. I'd probably set it up like a UFC fight and let you just go nuts. I don't care. But I don't have time. If you want to talk about how your ideology is censored, that I can definitely work you into a panel. Or, well, I hope so anyway. The problem is we have people that are really, really pro-censorship and people who are really, really, really anti-censorship. I myself, of course, am very anti-censorship. But what we don't have are people that are kind of in the middle or that can make a case for either side or understand either side. And thankfully, since we did the interview with Mythicist Milwaukee, you guys got to change this, driving me nuts. We've been able to have some submissions from people who are like, hey, I can take a centrist position, or yeah, I kind of see their point, and I also see their point, and that is what we need. Finding people with strong opinions about the First Amendment is not difficult, and I gotta be honest, with the SJW side threatening to protest, it's fucking hilarious. Your First Amendment is what makes it okay for you to protest. You dumb motherfuckers. Like, it's so fucking... when you protest free speech, you're literally protesting your right to protest. I don't know what we're teaching kids these days, but, it only inspires me to make sure that we have our civil rights and First Amendment attorney there to talk about this and to explain to people, here's your First Amendment, this is what it covers, this is why it's good for everybody, and maybe you don't want to protest the First Amendment, or free speech, or free association, or right to assemble. Anyway, I just think it'll be a very interesting conference. We have so many people from different places. I don't want every single panel to turn into a yelling match or a harsh debate. I do want these to be less debate and more conversation. That's another thing, another difficulty of trying to bring people together from disparate backgrounds is I don't want them to be debating each other like boom, 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 boom. If they're going to have a debate, I would like it to be respectful. Here's my point of view. There's my point of view. You have your centrist. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? You have your moderator keeping people from killing each other. I'm going to do the best I can. But this year, just because I only planned this for about 400 people. I really didn't think it was going to get as big as it did. And I'm trying to expand it as much as I can, but we're out of space. And I'm already locked into a contract that's pretty much the entire budget. So I can't go back on it now. But I think next year I'm going to go bigger, and I definitely want to talk about these things that people feel like they shouldn't talk about or that are like taboo topics or whatever. I want people to talk about those, and I hope that if we can expand, we can have a bigger focus on more, like a broader focus. We don't have to be quite so laser targeted on this one thing, because that's kind of how it is right now. It's just you have to be super hyper targeted on free speech and censorship. I wanted to expand it out into the entire First Amendment, freedom of association, right to peacefully assemble, the whole thing. And I can't because I just don't have time. I thought it would be great to do this whole segment and section about, free association, what it means, what it doesn't mean, that kind of thing. We just don't have time, and I'm kind of bummed, but we don't have time for it. So we just have to keep a hyper focus on speech and censorship and go from there. And I really do hope that next year it'll be a lot bigger and it'll be a lot better. I want this to be a place where people can talk about the things that they feel like they shouldn't talk about in the public sphere or that aren't well regarded in the public sphere. I want people to have the arguments. I want them to have to prove their side, and these are conversations that I love to see. That's probably the worst part about Christopher Hitchens dying, is that you never got to see him debate or argue with anybody ever. It sucks. I mean, we lost something there. Peter Hitchens is quite good, I think, but I want to keep this going. I want to keep the ability to debate and to have conversations going. I want people, like, we have a segment called Free Speech and Immigration. Why can't you talk about immigration? Why, what are you looking at? If let's say you're in the EU and you talk about immigration, why are you going to jail for that? That's something Americans don't understand. We don't have these concepts where you don't have a right to speak. You don't have a right to seek truth. You don't have a right to fucking defend yourself from attack. Like, to us, this is completely alien. The fact that, like, a girl, somebody tries to rape a girl, she defends herself with, like, a corkscrew or some shit, and she goes to prison. Like, for us, we're like, what the fuck? Is this the fucking Middle Ages? What the hell's going on? No, that's the EU today. We need to understand how it got to this point, and we need to see what we can do to stop that. So that's why we're having such, hyper focus on these issues right now, because it's important. These are heavy, heavy issues, and they need to be discussed. And I do hope that next year we can expand to more issues. I think, based on, the interest this year, next year I want to go a lot bigger. Not like a, huge amount bigger, but I want to go much bigger, I guess, topic-wise. I don't want to just focus on only this aspect. I want to expand to larger things, more broad topics, so that we can actually have more conversations and actually get there. I think it's important. All of the people that I've been talking to, they're academics, they're in the film industry, they're in the music industry, and they're like, this is really important. What you're doing here is really, really important. And it is. And I figure if this many people hate it, then I must be doing something right. Because, the only time I've ever had this much hatred is when I left Islam. So I'm not going to lie to you that internet hatred is really not that big a deal, though. I mean, I've had probably like 30 or so, I don't know, a lot of death threats. I get like 2 or 3 a day. But the problem with getting death threats is every time you get one, you have to call the FBI. You have to log that through. And that takes like an hour, 45 minutes a piece. And then you have to call the local police and do the same thing all over again. It's just a pain in the ass. I mean, I don't think bloviating idiots on the internet are going to be that big a problem. But this, again, this is Arizona. That dude getting popped in the nuts with the pepper ball is what happens when the police are in charge. You don't want to see what happens when the general public gets tired of your shit. Just saying, it's not the place to start shit, and that's why I picked it. So you guys, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Thank you for continuing to watch my channel and support it while I'm basically gone, trying to get Kilroy together. We have just about another week to lock people in and get everything settled, and I'm trying like crazy to, we're organizing panels and stuff right now based on, we have to watch a lot of people's like content or read what they've written and stuff like that to figure out like where is a good place we could put them where they would have really good conversations with people, which means I'm doing a lot of research in a lot of areas. I'm learning a lot though. Of course, I won't remember it right away because I'm too tired, but maybe next year when I've had actual sleep, all of this will become pertinent information for me. Anyway, you guys take care. We'll see you later. Bye. Hey guys, Base Mama here to make a video that I didn't want to have to make because I've been trying to ignore this bitch the whole fucking time, but apparently she's all up in everybody's hoonani trying to get her name out there. So I'm going to call her out. JoySparklebS, shut the fuck up, bitch. Oh my God. You don't know what you're talking about. There are people that are literally like intimately involved in this process and the whole story with Daddy05 who have made like 3, maybe 4 videos because they were necessary. You've made over 70. And you have no idea what's going on. You have some crazy tinfoil hat conspiracies where you're going, oh, the Falston group is in charge of YouTube, forcing them to take down videos. Do you have proof of this? Has there been a complaint lodged by the Falston group or someone who works for them? Is there any way, any evidence you have for this? Because I'm gonna need to see that. You sound like a crazy fucking lunatic. Oh my God. And you know what? I thought maybe, you were like fame whoring, because that's definitely what it seems like. JoySparklebS is going to make her fucking name on the back of these children's tragedies because apparently she's just as big a shitbag as Keemstar is. But no, I think you're actually crazy. I think that you're actually using YouTube like a therapist, that your level of crazy isn't the level of crazy that YouTube can handle or help you with. I think you need to graduate onto intensive professional therapy because you are a crazy, crazy nutbag. You talk out of your ass. And hey, guess what the effect of all of this fame whoring and shit talking is? You actually complicate Rose's case by running your fucking mouth too much. So no thanks for your crazy obsession with shit that's none of your fucking business and that you don't know any fucking thing about. Okay, you want to help? Then help. Now your helping is a hindrance. You need to stop. Oh, holy shit, woman, you drive me crazy. I cannot believe, like, the level of obsessive posting you've done on this. Like, it's fucking crazy. Get some help, you crazy, 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 crazy bitch. That's all I have to say.
Hold on real quick. Now, two people who were the most outspoken, even more than, like, people like Failure who were just fucking riffing and bullshitting on streams and stuff. They don't really count. Two people who were genuine critics, JoySparkle, would be Chambers and Base Mama. Now, they both came onto a stream. It was on a Kumite forever and a day ago at this point. And
I remember that Kumite.
Yeah, on that stream.
Highest rated Kumite at that date.
For a good while, it held a nice record. But what happened on this particular show was a line stood out to me, and I still remember it, where Joy said, "If I can show you what actually happened, and I can show you evidence that this was all bullshit, would you be able to, get together with me on something, and could we talk then?" Chambers says yes. Based Mama shouts no and begins to call her a cunt or something again. I don't know.
Yeah, she called her a stupid cunt.
A stupid cunt, and then she also said that would be illegal to release that, which it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't understand what's illegal about providing evidence to prove Based Mama wrong.